At the beginning of the story, we are shown a family living a happy and peaceful life. But they had no idea that just a few minutes later, something was going to happen to them that was terrifying to even think about. While the husband and wife were busy talking to each other, they suddenly heard screaming and shouting from outside. When both of them stepped out of the house, they saw that there was chaos among the people outside. People were leaving their homes and running away, as if something big was about to happen. Jason and Beth noticed that their neighbors were also panicking and quickly emptying their house. Jason asked his neighbor, "What is the reason? Why are you all leaving your homes?" But those people were in such a hurry that they did not answer Jason at all. Nearby, they also saw that the neighbor's son was packing his belongings. When Jason asked that boy, "Where are you all going?" the boy replied that his father had a friend who was a government officer. He said that a very dangerous virus had spread, which turns a normal human being into a monster. But just then, the boy's mother came and grabbed him and started taking him away. Jason asked her, "What virus is this boy talking about?" To which the boy's mother said, "There is no time to explain right now. Take your wife and daughter and get as far away from this city as possible." Hearing this, Jason and Beth became very frightened. After that, without thinking twice, Jason put his family in the car and started driving them out of the city. But on the way, they noticed that the same neighbors who were running away were now coming back. Seeing this made things even more confusing for them. Further ahead, they got stuck in traffic. When Jason and his family got out of the car, they saw that the only road leading out of the city had been blocked by the police. Helicopters began patrolling the sky here and there. People were being told that a dangerous virus had spread in the city and that they should return home immediately. Hearing this, something felt strange to Jason. If a virus had spread in the city, then why were people being told to stay inside the city instead of being evacuated? Just then, suddenly a large rock fell from the nearby mountain onto their car. Seeing this, they were all terrified. The mountain began to shake. At that moment, two military fighter jets emerged from behind the mountain and headed toward the city. Those two fighter jets began raining bombs over the entire city, turning it to ashes. Jason's wife Beth immediately understood that if they had listened to the police and returned home, their fate would have been terrible. After that, those fighter jets began moving toward the people on the road. Seeing this, panic spread among everyone. Now everyone understood that the government wanted to kill them. Everyone started running here and there to save their lives. But Jason and Beth realized that no matter where they ran, those fighter jets would kill them. Just then, Beth looked back and spotted a school on the mountain and felt that it would be a safer place to survive. After that, Jason took Beth and Joey and started climbing the mountain toward the school. On the bridge behind them, the fighter jets began dropping bombs on the people. All three of them ran fast and reached the school. Fortunately, they found a tunnel there, and just seconds before the bomb blast, they quickly got inside the tunnel. As soon as the bunker door closed, a powerful explosion went off above. But luckily, they were below in the bunker, and their lives were saved. However, what surprised them was, what kind of virus was it that the government had to kill all the people of the city? They could not understand anything at all. They only knew one thing, that if they wanted to stay alive, they had to quietly spend their lives in the bunker. But the troubling question for them was, how long would they live here? And what would they do for food and water to survive? The good thing was that there was plenty of food stored there, which could last a long time for 3 people. Jason's wife, Beth, was very worried. She began thinking about her daughter, Joey, that if she fell ill, what would they do? And when Beth had closed the door, her hand had also been caught in it, causing a deep injury. They were both also worried about whether the deadly virus might have already attacked their bodies. But there was no time to think about this right now. They now had to secure the bunker so that no one could open the door from above. Jason tightly locked the bunker door with an iron chain and decided that from now on, they would have to live here in hiding. But life underground was not easy. Every day the same food, muddy water to drink, and in their free time they played cards. They were completely cut off from the outside world. After spending many days here, they were all very tired of living in the bunker. But what could they do? If they went up, they would not survive. This life made Jason's family feel as if they were witnessing the end of the world. Joey asked her father, "Papa, how long will we stay here?" Jason had no answer to this. He only told his daughter, "When the virus is gone from outside, only then will we go out." He placed his fingers over his daughter's eyes and made her imagine the outside world. Days passed like this, and then months. They did not know that waiting to go outside, more than 300 days had passed for them inside that bunker. Joey looked at the outside world through the periscope her mother had made. Outside, all around, there was only a scene of destruction, as if the entire world had burned to ashes. There was not a single trace of any human being there. Seeing all this, the little girl began to feel that perhaps perhaps they were the last surviving people in this world. Her mother consoled her and said, "Don't think like that. Maybe your friends are also hiding somewhere just like us." Now it was night and it was time for dinner. They did not have much food left now, so all three of them were managing with just a little food. But today, on Joey's insistence, she was given one full tin can. When Joey opened the tin can, she saw that the can was completely empty inside. There was a small hole on the back of this can. It seemed like something had stolen the food from it. When Beth checked all the remaining cans, she found that a total of 12 cans were empty. Seeing this, they became very worried because this was their 2 weeks' worth of rations. Beth looked toward the ventilation grill and guessed that perhaps a rat had come inside and taken the food. Beth said that if it is a rat, it will have to be killed soon. Otherwise, it will ruin all our food. Seeing his daughter's sad face, Jason consoled her and said, "Don't worry about small things. Even if the food runs out, I will go upstairs and get some supplies." The next day, when Joey was playing blocks with her mother, a faint sound came from behind. When Joey turned around, she saw that a rat had sneaked in again to steal a tin can. Before the rat could escape, Joey immediately called her parents. Today, they had to kill this rat no matter what. Jason angrily took out a knife and moved forward to chop it to pieces. But that little rat was very quick. It dodged Jason's strikes and escaped, and also knocked over the lantern kept on the table. Just as it was about to enter its hole, Beth suddenly lunged and killed the rat. They were all celebrating killing the rat, when on the other side, the knocked over lantern slowly started spreading fire. Jason ran to put out the lantern, but the lantern was very hot, which burned Jason's hand, and when the glass of the lantern shattered, the entire table caught fire. Beth tore the curtain and tried to put out the fire. Jason drew half a bucket of water from the tap and poured it on the fire. Somehow, both of them managed to put out that fire. But the danger was not over yet. In fact, things were about to get even more difficult for them. Because they had put out the fire, but the smoke from the fire had filled the entire bunker, and that smoke was slowly rising upward through the ventilation grill. Seeing this, they all panicked because that smoke was revealing their hiding place. Now everyone was sitting holding their breath. Jason said that maybe the darkness of the night will hide the smoke, and no one will be able to find out our location. All three of them stayed awake the entire night in fear. The next morning, they looked outside through the periscope to reassure themselves, but the ground slipped beneath their feet. They saw that outside, a huge cloud of smoke had risen. Seeing this, their restlessness began to grow. They became fully convinced that the secret of their hiding place had been revealed. Just then, Beth said that if smoke has risen, then ash must have also accumulated nearby, and while examining it, our hiding place could be discovered, so now we will have to clean up the ash. After that, the husband and wife decided to go outside and clean up. Before leaving, Jason told his daughter Joey, "Promise me that no matter what sound you hear from outside or whatever happens, you must not come out." After taking a promise from his daughter, they opened the chain on the door. They carefully listened to the sounds outside, and when they were sure that no one was there, both of them together opened the bunker door and went outside. Now, their daughter was left alone inside. She was waiting for her parents. But after waiting for a very long time, when her parents still did not return, she climbed on a stool and started looking at the outside situation through the periscope. Soon she saw that her parents were trying to hide the bunker door. But just then, Joey saw something that made her breath get stuck in her throat. She saw that in the distant forest, a dark shadow was moving quickly toward them. The little girl shouted loudly, telling her father to look behind, but the distance was too great. Her parents could not hear her. In her panic, the girl forgot her fear and climbed the stairs and came out of the bunker. As soon as she came outside, she realized that her parents were no longer there. The girl anxiously began calling out loudly to her parents. Just then, someone suddenly grabbed her mouth from behind. It was none other than her mother. A few seconds later, a herd of wild deer rushed past quickly from there. Although all three narrowly escaped, Beth's fear kept growing even more. The way these deer were running was surely an attempt to escape from something dangerous. Everyone sensed the danger, and they quickly ran back toward the bunker and got inside. Jason closed the bunker door with wooden planks and tied it tightly with an iron chain and told everyone to stay completely silent. Just then, they heard the faint sound of footsteps from above. It seemed like something was moving toward the bunker door. It kept walking around back and forth above the bunker for several minutes. All three of them quietly moved away from the bunker door and headed further inside. And perhaps until now, whatever was above had not realized that someone was inside the bunker below. Out of fear, Joey started crying. Beth calmed her down and said, "If the sound reaches outside, everything will be over." All three of them had slowly moved quite far from the bunker door. The reason they were moving moving further from the bunker door was so that even if something opened the door from above, it would not see them below. But just then, the rope of the doll that Joey was holding got caught in a screw. That screw slowly started to loosen. Seeing this, Jason and Beth's breath got stuck because that rope was connected to the sound switch inside the doll. Before they could do anything, the screw came out with a jerk, and at that very moment, sound started coming out of the doll loudly. Jason immediately tore open the doll and broke the speaker inside. But now it was too late. The thing that was following them from above had detected them. Suddenly, a heavy banging sound came from above, and then the sound of heavy footsteps stopped directly above the bunker door. It had finally found their hideout and started trying to open it. It was pushing the bunker lid hard, and even though it was locked with chains, the danger was clearly felt. And the monster above had figured out that there must be someone inside the bunker below. Although the door was locked with strong chains, the terrible force of that thing started breaking the chains one by one. Seeing this, Jason realized that the door would not hold much longer, so he quickly ran inside and started pulling out the water pump pipe. Here Beth also showed courage and climbed the ladder and used her body weight to pull the chain and keep the door closed. But even then, the iron lid slowly started opening. Just then, a dark shadow appeared above the door. Its eyes were glowing like a light bulb, as if their death from above was looking down at them. Jason, without thinking, struck it with the pipe, which made it fall backward. Jason quickly jammed the pipe in the door to close it, and that thing ran away from there. But Jason's body was still shaking terribly. He could never have imagined that the outside world had not only merciless soldiers, but also dangerous monsters roaming around. The whole family sat near the stairs, dejected, because their hiding place had now been exposed. At any moment, they could be attacked, and they also realized that this time, only one had come. But next time when they come, there will be many more of them, and we will not be able to do anything in front of them. A little while later, suddenly the cupboard started shaking. Jason and Beth understood that it had called its remaining companions as well. Loud sounds of footsteps started coming from above, as if thousands of creatures were running over their heads. Then they all gathered at the bunker door. From their fear, Jason, Beth, and Joey were trembling below. Just then, they suddenly launched a massive attack. The force this time was far greater than before. The strong iron door broke and fell down, and on the bunker door, many pairs of eyes began to glow. As those people started coming down, they all ran backward in fear. But the monsters were also following them. Beth threw her oil lamp and set fire to the curtain between herself and them, and grabbed the cupboard, and both of them blocked the path between them. They all started running quickly toward the inside of the bunker, but they knew that none of this could hold them for long. They had no way out now. Just then, the little girl noticed a ventilation opening in the ground. Jason forcefully broke it open, and with all his Stray's wife and daughter outside. But when he tried to come out himself, he got stuck due to the tight space. On the other side, the monsters were moving toward him. Now somehow Jason had to get out of here. He saw no other way, so he broke his shoulder bone, which made him scream in pain, but quickly composing himself, he entered the ventilation. Beth, without wasting any time, started pulling Jason outside with all her strength. Just as Jason was about to come out, a massive creature came and grabbed Jason's leg. Jason understood that it was now impossible for him to escape. There was no hope of getting away now. Jason looked into his wife's eyes and said, "Whatever happens, don't let anything happen to Joey." And the very next moment, the monster dragged him back into the bunker. But Jason, instead of being afraid of the monsters inside the bunker, said to them, "Come on, let's see how much strength you have." When Beth and Joey looked down, loud screaming sounds were coming from inside the bunker. Beth understood that her husband was fighting to give them time to escape. Even in pain, she took her daughter and left from there and escaped quite far while avoiding the monsters. But while running, they felt something strange. They saw that the highway that opened to the outside world now had a tall wall standing there, meaning now no one could get out of the city. Just then, a helicopter came flying from a distance. When Beth looked back, it was an army helicopter. The helicopter came toward them quickly and shone a bright spotlight on them. Just as both of them were about to run from there, a large net came down from above and fell on them, trapping both of them. Both of them began trying in every possible way to free themselves from the net, but the net had gripped both of them tightly. Beth looked through the gaps in the net and saw that some dark shadows with green eyes were coming toward them. Just then, we learned the true secret of the story. These gun-wielding figures with yellow eyes that we were thinking of as monsters were in reality neither aliens nor virus-infected people. people. They were actually military soldiers wearing gas masks and night vision glasses. Those same eyes whose yellow glow was making them look like beings from another world. But the question arises, why had the army become enemies of these people's lives? All these secrets you will find out in the little bit of story that remains. Now, Beth and Joey were both under the control of these soldiers. One of the soldiers took out a large syringe and injected it into both their necks one by one. When their blood was tested, it was found that both of them were also infected by the dangerous virus, which meant that both of them were a threat to this earth. That is, they would now be killed. Actually, when the virus first spread, many people of this small city had already come under its grip. This virus spread through the air and it passed from one person to another very quickly. Infected people did not even know themselves that they were sick, and the government had no antidote to stop this virus. The government had no other option except killing the infected people. Beth cried and said, "Please let my child go." When Beth saw that these soldiers were not going to spare her little daughter either, she became completely furious. Dark marks started appearing on her face, but before she could do anything, a fountain of blood burst from a soldier's neck. It was none other than Jason, who had returned from death. Actually, in the bunker, Jason had not died, but rather he lost control of himself and killed all the soldiers there. At that time, he was extremely angry. There were dark marks on his face and his eyes were red with rage, and it was clearly visible that his body's strength had multiplied many times, and it was clear that he was no longer the old Jason, but was appearing in a completely different form. He pounced on the soldiers and started killing them one by one, but he could not stop the bullets from their firearms and fell to the ground. When the soldiers moved toward Beth and Joey, both of them had broken out of the net and escaped. The soldiers started looking for them here and there, but they had no idea that Beth had also transformed into a monstrous form. She hid Joey inside a car and herself started fighting with those soldiers. She killed several soldiers and then also fell on the roof of the car after being hit by a bullet. Her daughter, hiding in the darkness, watched all of this. Seeing the condition of her parents, she also lost her temper in anger. In one leap, she knocked down a soldier and tore off his mask and was just about to kill him when Beth stopped her just in time. She did not want her daughter to also become a beast. Beth calmed her down. Slowly, the darkness in the girl's veins disappeared, and she transformed back into a human. But the soldier's luck was not so good. His safety mask was broken, and he slowly became infected with the virus. On the other side, Jason's condition was very serious. Looking at his daughter's face, he traced 2 fingers from his eyes over her face, and Jason closed his eyes forever. At that very moment, another helicopter came. Beth grabbed her daughter and ran. Passing through a pile of junk, they entered a tunnel. Just then, a light fell on their eyes. On looking, it turned out to be the same little neighbor boy whom we had seen at the beginning of the story. Then both of them followed him. That boy led them to a cave-like tunnel where the boy's parents and many other people were hiding. Actually, those were people infected with the same virus, just like them. To stay alive, all of them were forced to live a rat-like life in the darkness. This virus was dangerous, but not fatal. This virus had a stronger effect on an infected person's body when they became frightened or could not control their anger. But in reality, those people had learned to control themselves. They thought of the soldiers in the city as monsters, but in reality, they themselves were the monsters. And with this, the story comes to an end. If you liked this recap, then subscribe to our channel for more such videos.